talking about coatings, like why not just use the coating that manufacturer puts on there? Why have these super coatings, and what are they? What do they do, etc.?
Okay. One of the questions we get a lot is the NP3 coating, the nickel Teflon coating, or some of the other coatings that we use, and why do we use them? What makes them different? You know, why wouldn't the manufacturer put it on there to start with? All of those things. To start with, the NP3 coating is a electroless nickel coating with Teflon impregnated into it. So we have already a hard surface with now Teflon in the surface. And the nice thing about NP3 is that not only is it corrosion resistant, but it adds a level of lubricity. Lubricity, it's actually a real word.
I love that word. Yeah. What?
They're a level of lubricity to the part. So when you've got NP3 working on NP3 or NP3 working on other parts, it's very slick. So when it comes to trigger work, what you end up with is a part that gives you a smoother, lighter, slicker trigger pull than you would get with a regular blued finish or painted finish or something like that. The NP3 also, not only is it is very hard, but it's very durable. It lasts a long time. It was designed by Robbie Barkman. So we get the question a lot is, well, you know, Robar made NP3 famous, if you will. Most people associate NP3 directly to Robar. Robbie, that was Robbie Barkman's company. He started it a few years back. He sold it because he started another company, and I'm not sure what the sequence of events here, but Coating Technologies here in Phoenix does NP3, and they've always been the company that did NP3 to my knowledge. So Robar was right next door, and Robar was basically buying that procedure or that coating from Coating Technologies. Now we work directly with Coating Technologies. They do our NP3 for us. So NP3 is not going away, even though Robar closed its doors and is no longer doing that. We're continuing to do that. And if you see the two different parts here, we have a standard Brunaton hammer that comes in the Elite Compact. It's a spurless or a low profile hammer, and this is the NP3 one. So we have basically a black finish and what looks like a stainless steel finish, if you will. NP3 tends to be a little bit of a duller finish than normal nickel Teflon or normal electroless nickel. But the big difference, I would say, is it is a silver finish. So when some people say, why would I not want NP3? Well, if you want your gun to be black, you're kind of, you know, NP3 is not the way to go for you. So we like
it's not a fashion thing.
It's not a fashion thing. It's if you just, I want my gun to be black, I'd prefer it to look black, or I don't want it to reflect and the bad guy see me, or whatever reasoning you have in your head. It's understandable.
That's not a legit reason?
Huh?
You don't think that's a legit reason? That was a joke. Yeah. Keep going.
I was gonna...
What time are you supposed to be to your next appointment?
Yeah. I mean, I could see if you were someone who had a job where I needed to have my gun out and it not be reflective, i.e. military guys, things of that nature. I could see that, but for a typical guy where the gun's gonna be in the holster, you know, that is a different story. Magazines are a big deal. I've got magazines that have many years now of use with the NP3 coating, and it doesn't seem to go away. They don't seem to wear out. If it's a quality metal magazine, we don't run into the issues we see, whether it's a painted magazine, a blued, or a Parkerized magazine. Eventually you're gonna have corrosion issues. And NP3 will rust if you misuse it. Or, I mean, it's not rust proof, but it does provide more of a stainless-like finish where it is very corrosion resistant. So it's my preferred finish, and it's also really slick. One of the things that my wife Amy says that she can tell when she's using an NP3 mag by how fast it flies out of the gun and how easy it is to reload a new one in the gun. You can feel the difference over a regular blued magazine.
That one is NP3.
Correct.
Now tell people that how they can tell the difference, if you can, between that and just the sand resistant mags that...
Well, the sand resistant mag is a PVD coating, so it's more of a darker silver, almost a gold hue to it. So it's a little bit different. The magazines themselves, the sand resistant ones are typically the 17 round and or the factory M9A1 magazine, which is a 15 round magazine. And we have some of those, we can pull them out, but they are different. It's a different color.
And this is, with the NP3, that is like the best of the best that you're gonna get for a finish on one of these metal mags.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's not cheap, but it's a great finish on magazines.
So if you're like, you've got a setup here, I'm assuming this is going out with a customer's gun, right?
Well, these are 10 round compact mags. These are the factory 10 round mags that we've NP3'd. Some people live in states where, you know, they can't, 10 rounds is all they can have. So if someone's ordering a gun from us from one of those states, they're gonna get shipped the 10 round magazines.
But that customer opted to get NP3 coated mags.
That's
so
correct.
They're just getting the setup.
They're probably getting what we would consider an NP3 gun, meaning it's got all the metal parts except for the slide, the frame, and the barrel, and of course any springs that are in the gun are NP3 coated. And Jonah's just almost done with one.
Oh man, you did that just in the time that we've been talking, huh?
Don't take me too long anymore.
You might have done it once or twice now.
Now some of this might be proprietary that you don't want to talk to people about, but I can see you've got a pile of parts and you pull from those piles as you're assembling. How often do you need to do some filing or grinding or smacking or buffing on the components to get them to your level of satisfaction? Because if I sat here and assembled stuff, even though I shoot these guns, I'm not going to feel the same things that you feel.
Case by case. Honestly, not too often with this NP3 finish. The NP3 finish really does smooth it out that much to make it that much easier.
Okay.
But when we're working on these guns or we're working on these parts, we've done thousands of them, and the term I like to use is it's a recipe. It's like I'm gonna bake a cake that you're gonna buy in the store, and you bought this cake, you know, hundreds of times. It's gonna taste the same. It's the same thing with us. We know exactly what's going to be stoned, what's going to be polished, where things are going to be polishing. We're not guessing our way through it. If I remember correctly, I went through and counted all the different steps. It's 43 different steps that we're applying to the different parts in the gun, and then we assemble them, and then Jonah goes through, or we go through a series of checks on the trigger pull to make sure that there is sufficient over travel, that things are functioning correctly. He's going to check and make sure that all the magazines are fitting and dropping free, and then the gun is built.